So unlike a lot of people, I actually really do like The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. It probably is one of my favorite games in the series. It is an extremely fun game despite some criticism it gets. It's got a very charming story, I have a very fun time playing through all the levels they designed. It is great trying to scavenge up all the collectibles out of the game, especially I love the goddess cubes. And I just love the lively, vibrant tone that Skyward Sword provides that's different from a lot of other Zelda games. Hell, 3 years ago I ranked it number 2 for my favorite Zelda games, but that probably has changed with Breath of the Wild and just never so changing opinion. But still, it ranks pretty damn high. That said though, I do agree Skyward Sword deserves some of the criticism it gets because it has some major problems. The game pushes the motion controls way too much. It not only requires you to get Wii Motion Plus, which turned a lot of people off to the game, but so many of the generic tasks in the game require said motion controls and they're not really that precise. I think this is especially noticeable in a lot of the boss fights in the game that just aren't that fun because they're forced to use motion controls. The game also very much limits your exploration to just the levels they designed. You can't really explore between all the different provinces on the ground, and when you can explore between them in the sky, there's not a whole lot to see. All I have to say is these two layers and everyone understands how much we have a problem in this game. Yes, I'm aware my batteries are low. I am aware of that. But out of all of these, there's one problem that's worse than the rest. This degenerate, useless fuck. The Imprisoned. I hate this guy. Or thing. I don't even know what this abomination is. He wouldn't even be invited to his own wedding. If there's only one item left at the grocery store and it was him, no one would still pick him. I'm insulted because I breathe the same air that this thing breathes. I hate this thing so much. What it is just some disposed form of the final boss demise, after some several hundred years I believe since he's been defeated. This is what he's been wasted to, just this abomination that comes out of the ground. After you fail to catch up to Zelda and she escapes with the gated time because she wants to escape from Link's hideous ass, you find your way back to the sealed temple only for Grandma to tell you that something's rumbling and it's probably just an earthquake. Turns out it's not an earthquake, it's this ugly fuck, it's much worse. After his ugly little keister pops out of the ground, it's your job to force him back into said ground. What you have to do is get to a higher vantage point and skydive onto his head, and once you land on his head, you have to pass his pedestal into his body. Complete that task 3 times and you will defeat him. Well, you don't have to worry about dying, he doesn't do a lot of damage. You will lose the game if you reach the temple, so it does suck, you're against the clock, not exactly your strength. You can bulk up as much as you want for this fight and it won't do you shit. The biggest component of this is landing on said head, which requires you to go well above him and use your motion controls to land on top of him, which, as I explained at the beginning, don't really work all that well, and is kind of a pain in the ass to use. The fight is goddamn repetitive and boring. People probably made the joke that they enjoy watching ice melt or paint dry, but amplify that times 10 and you get how boring and repetitive this goddamn fight is. And the thing I hate the most about this is this is not the only time you fight him. You fight him 2 more fucking times. I mentioned at the beginning one of the criticisms of the boss fights in this game, and I think out of all that, it's probably repetitive boss fights, and especially this guy, that gets the most of it. You fight him again after you forge the Master Sword, and also when you're trying to hunt down the Water Dragon. The fight does vary as Groose from the famous game, the Untitled Groose game, does join you and help you out. He creates this thing called the Groosinator. What it does is hurl a bomb every now and then, which by every now and then it's every fucking blue moon, and said Imprisoned. His latter stages get hard too. He does grow some hands and wings, so it actually makes the Groosinator, which is pretty useless, actually have to be useful. It ensures that he does climb to the temple quicker unless you stop him, so it becomes even more a pain in the ass the next couple times you fight him. I absolutely hate this thing. It might be the only creature in the world I hope will never find true love. I dread replaying Skyward Sword just because I know I have to face his ugly ass 3 times. It is bad. I still absolutely love the game though, but why does he have to exist? Why do all these faults have to exist? Well, I guess that's just how it goes. I hate the Imprisoned.
I hate you, I love you, I hate that I love you. Don't want to, but I can't put nobody else above you. I hate you, I love you, I hate that I want you.